should preserve the unique status of marriage between one man and one woman. And if a federal court decided that my state of Arizona had to observe what the state of Massachusetts decided, then I would favor a constitutional amendment. Until then, I believe the states should make the decisions within their own states.
Okay. All right. Another issue is stem cells. Now, we've had this scientific breakthrough of, creating pluripotent stem cells through adult stem cells.
Yes.
So, would you favor or oppose the federal funding of embryonic stem cell research since we have this other breakthrough?
For those of us in the pro-life community, this has been a great struggle and a terrible dilemma, because we're also taught other obligations that we have as well. I've come down on the side of stem cell research, but I am wildly optimistic that skin cell research, which is coming more and more into focus and practicability, will make this debate an academic one.
All right. How about the issue of evil? I asked this of your rival in the previous thing. Does evil exist? And if so, should we ignore it, negotiate with it, contain it, or defeat it?
Defeat it. A couple of points. One, if I'm President of the United States, my friends, if I have to follow him to the gates of hell, I will get Osama bin Laden and bring him to justice. I will do that, and I know how to do it. I will get that done. No one should be allowed to take thousands of innocent American lives. Of course, evil must be defeated. My friends, we are facing the transcendent challenge of the 21st century. Radical Islamic extremism. Not long ago in Baghdad, Al-Qaeda took two young women who were mentally disabled and put suicide vests on them, sent them into a marketplace, and by remote control detonated those suicide vests. If that isn't evil, you have to tell me what is. And we're going to defeat this evil. And the central battleground, according to David Petraeus and Osama bin Laden, is the battles is Baghdad, Mosul, Basra, and Iraq. And we are winning, and we are succeeding, and our troops will come home with honor and with victory, and not in defeat. And that's what's happening. And we face this threat throughout the world. It's not just in Iraq. It's not just in Afghanistan. Our intelligence people tell us Al-Qaeda continues to try to establish cells here in the United States of America. My friends, we must face this challenge. We can face this challenge, and we must totally defeat it. And we're in a long struggle. But when I'm around the young men and women who are serving this nation in uniform, I have no doubts. None.
All right. These next questions have to do with domestic issues. I believe that leadership is stewardship, not ownership. And for a few years, you're asking us to place the stewardship of our freedom and our security and our economy and the environment, everything, into your hands. So here I have about 500 questions in this category. The first one is on the courts. Which existing Supreme Court justices would you not have nominated?
With all due respect, Justice Ginsburg, Justice Breyer, Justice Souter, and Justice Stevens.
Why? Tell me one.
Well, I think that the President of the United States has incredible responsibility in nominating people to the United States Supreme Court. They are lifetime positions, as well as the federal bench. There will be 2 or maybe 3 vacancies. This nomination should be based on the criteria of proven record of strictly adhering to the Constitution of the United States of America and not legislating from the bench. Some of the worst damage has been done by legislating from the bench. And by the way, Justices Alito and Roberts are two of my most recent favorites, by the way. They really are. They're very fine. And I'm proud of President Bush for nominating them.
All right, let's talk about the role of faith-based organizations. There was a recent poll that came out, said over 70% of Americans believe that faith-based organizations do a better job at community services.
Because Americans are right.
Than the government. You know, addictions, homelessness, poverty, all of these prisoner rehab, things like that. Now, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 allows religious organizations, not just churches, but faith-based organizations, to keep and hire the people that they believe share common beliefs with.
Yes.
Would you insist that faith-based organizations forfeit that right to access federal funds?
Absolutely not. And if you did, it would mean a severe crippling of faith-based organizations and their abilities to do the things that they have done so successfully. Life is full of anecdotes, and I'm sorry to tell you so many anecdotes, but I went to New Orleans after Katrina. The Resurrection Baptist Church was doing tremendous work with thousands of volunteers, I'm sure probably from here at Saddleback, coordinating the efforts of thousands of volunteers, including my own church, the North Phoenix Baptist Church, who came from all over America. And various authorities, off the record, told me, off the record, that they were doing so much more good than the government organization said. It was incredible, and New Orleans could not have been on the path, and they've got a long way to go, on the path to recovery if it hadn't have been for the faith-based organizations who are still operating in New Orleans, much to their great credit, thank God.
First in, last out.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about education. America ranks 19th in high school graduations, but we're first in incarcerations. Everybody says they want more accountability in schools. About 80% of America says they support merit pay for the best teachers. Now, I don't want to hear your stump speech on education. Okay.
Yes, yes, and find bad and find bad teachers another line of work.
We're gonna end this. You're answering so quickly.
All right, can I?
You want to play a game of poker?
Could I just say that? Choice and competition, homeschooling, charter schools, vouchers, all the choice and competition. I want every American family to have the same choice that Cindy and I made, and Senator Obama and Mrs. Obama made as well. And that was, we wanted to send our children to the school of our choice. And charter schools work, my friends. Homeschooling works. Vouchers in our nation's capital works. We've got thousands of people in Washington, D.C. that are applying for a voucher system. New York City is reforming. I go back to New Orleans. They were, as we know, the tragedy devastated them. They now have over 30 charter schools in the city of New Orleans, and guess what? It's all coming up. It's all coming up. It's a simple principle, but it's going to take dedicated men and women, particularly in the teaching profession, to make it happen. And by the way, here, I won't go any further, but the point is, it's all based, and it's being proven, that choice and competition for every American family. And it is the civil rights issue of the 21st century, because every citizen's child now has an opportunity to go to school. But what kind of opportunity is if you send them to a failing school? That's why we've got to give everybody the same opportunity and choice.
All right, let's move on.
Sorry you mentioned that my answers were short, aren't you?
No, actually, this is great because I may actually get to ask you a couple of extra questions, which are good. They're the lightning bonus round, actually.